morning, everybody. I welcome you all to my lecture on three-phase balanced and unbalanced circuits. So this concept I have divided into two lectures. One lecture on the analysis of three-phase balanced circuits, and the next lecture is on the analysis of three-phase unbalanced circuits. So in today's lecture, we're going to see the in detail analysis of three-phase balanced circuits. First, we'll see the introduction part regarding three-phase circuits. Then I'll move on to the analysis part of three-phase balanced as well as unbalanced circuits. So under the introduction, we'll see how a single-phase AC as well as three-phase AC is represented. Why we need to introduce the concept of phasor in AC analysis. What is phase sequence? How practically a single phase AC as well as three phase AC EMFs can be generated? What are the various advantages of three phase system over single phase system, and the various types of three phase connections? So a single phase waveform is represented like this. As you know that the time taken by an alternating waveform in order to complete one complete cycle is called time period, and this represents the peak value of the alternating quantity. This represents the three-phase AC waveform. As you can see clearly that this represents R phase, this represents Y phase, and this represents B phase. All the three phases are equally displaced by 120 degrees. As you can see, the R phase is starting at 0, and after a delay of 120 degrees the Y phase is starting, and after a delay of another 120 degrees the B phase is starting. So that is why mathematically we represent A phase Vm sin omega t. I have represented Y phase as Vm sin omega t minus 120, and B phase mathematically I have represented by Vm sin omega t minus 240. The concept of phasor. So every alternating quantity is represented in terms of phasor, because at every instant the value of the alternating quantity is changing with respect to time. Hence, in order to perform mathematical expressions or operations is very difficult. Hence, in order to make our calculations or analysis simpler, every alternating waveform is represented in terms of phasor. Okay, the phase of an alternating quantity is nothing but the angle or the distance traveled by a phasor up to the instant of consideration from the reference phasor. So if the phasor is rotated in anti-clockwise direction, then that phase is considered as positive phase. Similarly, if the phasor is rotated in clockwise direction, then that phase is considered to be as negative phase. The phase sequence. The phase sequence is nothing but the order or sequence in which the currents and voltages in different phases attain their maximum value one after the other. So from the waveform I can see that first the R phase has attained its maximum value, then Y phase, then B phase. This sequence we generally call it as RYB phase sequence. It is nothing but equivalent to ABC phase sequence. Both are one and the same, only the notation has changed. Okay, so the other phase sequence is nothing but RBY. That means first the phase R will attain maximum value, then B phase, then Y phase. It is equivalent to ACB phase sequence. So these are the two different phase sequence. Generally 90% we always follow RYB phase sequence. while solving sums. Okay, unless and until he mentions RBY, we always try to follow this phase sequence. So electric power distribution is generally done in two ways. One is single phase and another one is three phase. And most of the electrical power used in this world is three phase. So in practice, how single phase as well as three phase are generated. So single phase AC is generally produced by rotating conductors, as you can see, in a uniform magnetic field as shown in the animation. A three-phase AC is generally produced in this manner. So alternate polarities of magnetic field generally cut through the conductors of the stationary coil. Thereby the three-phase system voltages are produced, which are displaced by 120 degrees each. So the induced voltage will change the polarity at the same speed as the rotation of the magnetic field that is producing the three-phase AC voltage. So when compared to the same kVA rating of single phase as well as three-phase, a balanced three-phase system needs only 75% of the size of the conductors when compared to the single phase system. So advantages of three phase system over single phase system. So the output of three phase machine is always greater when compared to the output of single phase machines, approximately 1.5 times. For a given size and voltage, the three phase machine occupy less space and will cost also less when compared to that of single phase machines. For transmission and distribution, the three-phase system generally requires less conducting material when compared to that of single-phase system. Hence, it is very economical to use three-phase system when compared to single-phase system for transmission as well as distribution. It is possible to obtain a single-phase supply from a three-phase system, but we cannot obtain a three-phase supply from a single-phase system. The power factor of a single phase system is very poor when compared to that of three phase machines. The voltage regulation also of a three phase system is much better when compared to that voltage regulation of single phase system. These are the few advantages of three phase system when compared to single phase system. The various types of three phase connections, as you know, are by using star connection as well as delta connection. So these are the various configurations of how we can connect a star connection. So the similar terminals of any end of the winding is generally connected to a common point, which we call it as neutral, and the other three windings are generally connected to the external circuit. So compared to delta, the starting end of the first coil is connected to the terminating end of the second coil. Next, the starting end of the second coil is connected to the terminating end of the third coil, and the starting end of the third coil is connected to the terminating end of the first coil. So in this way we can form a delta connection. So three phase star supply connection. So the supply side is here connected in the form of star, and we know that it's star connection, the similar ends of the three windings are connected to a common point called neutral, and the remaining three ends of the winding is generally connected to the external circuit, that is the load. Similarly, when the source side is in the form of delta, and we already seen that how to form a delta connection, that the terminating end of one winding is connected to the starting end of another winding, and so on, which will give rise to a closed circuit, and the three ends of the winding is generally brought out and connected to the external circuit, that is the load. Here, since it is a delta connection, there is no neutral. Similarly, the load that is present can also be connected either in the form of star or in the form of delta. So hence, both the supply as well as the load can be connected in either star or delta. So hence, the entire three-phase system can be connected in four possible manner, that is star star, star delta, delta delta, and delta star. So these are the four possible configurations of connecting a three-phase balance system. So this is how we connect a star-star connection. Here remember that since this is a three-phase balanced circuit, both the source side as well as the load side should be in balanced condition. So this is the configuration of star delta. Here also both the source side as well as the load side should be in balanced condition. This is the configuration of delta delta, and this is the configuration of delta star connection. So what is the main difference between balanced system and unbalanced system? In balanced system, the magnitude and phase angle of all impedances are equal and they are of same nature. By same nature, I mean if R phase has only resistance, then YB phases should also contain only resistance. If R phase has a series combination of R and L, then the remaining two phases should also have the same series combination of R and L. So that is what I mean by same nature. Then if it is true, then such system is called balanced system. Coming to unbalanced system, so in unbalanced system, the magnitudes as well as phase angles of the impedances will not be equal and they will be of different nature. So in one phase I may have resistance only, in another phase I can have RL, in another phase I can have RC. So various combinations. And if it is so, then such system is called unbalanced system. So three-phase balance system. So in three-phase balance system, these are the following concepts that I will cover. The concept of line values as well as phase values of both voltage and current in star as well as delta connection. We're going to derive the relation between the phase line values of voltage and current in star connection as well as in delta connection. So the concept of line voltage and line current. So here IR, IY and IB both in star connection as well as in delta connection are the currents flowing through each line, that is RYB. So these represent the line currents. So line currents I can define as the currents that are flowing in each line. Similarly, VRY, VBR as well as VYB in both star connection as well as delta connection are the voltages existing between any two lines, that is either R and Y or Y and B or B and R, and such voltages are called line voltages. Phase voltage and phase current. So the coming to star, the voltage existing between one line and neutral is called phase voltage, that is VRN, VBN and VYN are the voltages existing between a line and a neutral. Okay. So the currents in star connection IRN, IYN and IBN are the currents that are flowing between a line and a neutral. These currents are called phase currents. Similarly, when coming to delta, the voltage existing between any two lines, okay, that is R Y, YB and BR. Okay, the voltage existing between any two lines or phases. Okay, are called phase voltages, because in delta both line voltage and phase voltage are equal. We'll see how in later stages. Similarly, in each phase the currents flowing, that is IBR, IRY and IYB, are called phase currents. So now let us derive the relation between phase and line values of voltages as well as currents in star connection. From the circuit diagram, IR, IY, IB are line currents, and IRN, IBN and IYN are phase currents. And you can clearly see that IR is equal to IRN, both are in series. Similarly, IY is same as IYN, since both are in series again, and IB is same as IBN. So from this analysis I can conclude that in star connection line currents is equal to phase currents. Now my objective is to derive the relation between phase voltages as well as line voltages. From the circuit diagram, VRY is nothing but VRN plus NY. If I interchange the phasor, one of the phasor VNY, I can write as minus VYN. Therefore, VRY is nothing but VRN minus VYN. Similarly, if I consider the remaining two line voltages, VYB is nothing but VYN minus VBN, and VBR is nothing but VBN minus VRN. For analysis, I will only consider the first equation, that is VRY is equal to RN VRN minus VYN. In star connection, all the three phase voltages, that is VRY, VYN and VBN, all three phase voltages are equally displaced by 120 degrees as shown in phasor diagram. Now my objective is to obtain the phasor VRY. It is obtained by doing the phasor sum of VRN and minus VYN. I already have my phasor VRN. So minus VYN phasor is the mirror image of this phasor VYN. So after obtaining the mirror image, the resultant of these two phasors will give me the line voltage VRY. So I will draw the resultant phasor of these two phasors, which will give me the resultant phasor to be VRY. This angle is nothing but 60 degrees and this angle is nothing but 30 degrees. I will draw a perpendicular bisector which divides my line voltage phasor into two equal halves. So I will designate it by some O, A, B and C. So since my perpendicular bisector is dividing my line segment into two equal halves, the length of OC and length of CB both will be equal, and that I can write as VRY by 2, which is line voltage by 2. Now let me consider the triangle OAC. So in the triangle OAC, since this is a 90 degrees, cos 30 will be adjacent by hypotenuse. The adjacent length will be OC and hypotenuse length will be OA. So cos 30, which is root 3 by 2, is nothing but OC by OA. OC is nothing but line voltage VL by 2. The length of OA represents VRN, which is nothing but phase voltage. So on cross multiplication, I will get the relation VL is equal to root 3 V phase. So in star connection, the magnitude of line voltage is equal to root 3 times the magnitude of phase voltage. So this is the phasor representation when I have considered only one equation. So when I consider the remaining two equations and incorporate the phasor diagram, then I'll get the complete phasor diagram of a star connected system. So from this analysis, I can conclude that in star connection, the line voltages as well as the phase voltages are always 120 degrees apart from each other. Every line voltage will lead the respective phase voltage by 30 degrees, as you can see from phasor diagram. So here this is VRN is the phase voltage, VRY is the line voltage. So this is the reference phasor we have taken, and the line voltage is leading your phase voltage by an angle 30 degrees. So you know the concept of phasor. If I take a reference phasor like this, if the obtained phasor is above the reference phasor, it means that it is leading the reference phasor. If the resultant phasor obtained is below the reference phasor, we say that it lags the reference phasor. So in this case, star connection, the line voltage will lead the respective phase voltage by 30 degrees. The magnitude of line voltage is root 3 times the magnitude of phase voltage, which we have derived, and we have also seen that the magnitude of line current is same as the magnitude of phase current in star connection. Next, we have to derive the relation between phase and line values of voltages and currents in delta connection. So here you can see VRY is the line voltage, but here VRY, this also represents phase voltage. This line voltage is between R and Y, and here also VRY is the voltage between R and Y. So in this analysis, as you can see, that both line voltage as well as phase voltage are equal. So in delta connection, I can conclude that line voltage is equal to phase voltage. So now my objective is to derive the relation between line current as well as phase current. So from the circuit diagram, if I try to apply KCL at this node, sum of entering currents, which is IR and IBR, is equal to leaving current, which is IRY. So on application of KCL at node R, so IR plus IBR will give me IRY. So from this, IR is equal to IRY minus IBR. Similarly, if I apply KCL at nodes Y and B respectively, then I'll get the expressions IY is equal to IYB minus IRY, and IB is equal to IBR minus IYB. For analysis, I'll consider the first equation alone, that is IR is equal to IRY minus IBR. In delta connection, every phase voltage, that is IRY, IYB and IBR, are equally displaced by 120 degrees as shown in phasor diagram. Now my objective is to obtain the phasor IR, which is nothing but phasor sum of IRY and minus IBR. IRY phasor I have already obtained. Minus IBR phasor is nothing but the mirror image of IBR phasor. Okay, so the resultant of these two phasors will give me the phasor IR. So on drawing the resultant phasor, I'll obtain IR. This angle is 60 degrees and this angle is 30 degrees. Now I'll draw the perpendicular bisector which divides my line segment IR into two equal halves. I'll designate it by O, A, B and C. So the magnitude of OC and CV are equal, which in this case is IR by 2. Consider the triangle OAC. Cos 30 will give me OC by OA. The length of OC is line current by 2. The length of OA is representing phase current. On cross multiplication will give me IL is equal to √3 I phase. So in delta connection, the magnitude of line current is nothing but root 3 times the magnitude of phase current. So this phasor diagram obtained by considering only one equation. When I consider the remaining two equations, I will get this complete phasor diagram for delta connection. So from this analysis of delta connection, I can conclude that in line currents as well as phase currents in delta connection are always 120 degrees apart from each other. Every line current will lag the respective phase current by 30 degrees. You can see it clearly that IRY is the phase current and IR is the line current. Since this is taken as a reference, I obtained the resultant vector to be below the reference phasor. Hence, line current will lag the phase current by 30 degrees. The third one we have derived magnitude of line current in delta connection is root 3 times the magnitude of phase current, and the magnitude of line voltage is same as the magnitude of phase voltage. So this is the relation between phase and line values of both line currents as well as voltages in star connection as well as in delta connection. So practically this is how I can measure my line and phase values of both voltage and current in star connection as well as in delta connection. So if I place my ammeter here in any of one of the lines, that ammeter will indicate a value of line current. Similarly, if I place my voltmeter across any two lines, that voltmeter will indicate the value of line voltage. Similarly, if I place my ammeter in between one line and neutral, it indicates the value of phase current, and if voltmeter is placed between a line and neutral, then that voltmeter will give me the value of phase voltage. Similarly, in case of delta connection, in every line, if I place an ammeter, it will give me the value of line current. If a voltmeter is placed in between any two lines, it will give me the value of line voltage. Similarly, if I place my ammeter in between these two phases, it will give me the value of phase current, and if I place my voltmeter across any two phases, it will give me the value of phase voltage. So three-phase power in balanced systems. So whether it is star connection or delta connection, the formula for active power is 3 V phase I phase cos phi, both in star connection as well as in delta connection. But we know that in delta connection, V phase is equal to VL and I phase is equal to IL by root 3. So if I replace them in this above expression, I'll get another expression for active power, that is in terms of line values, which is root 3 VL IL cos phi. Similarly, in case of star connection, if I place the relation I phase is equal to IL and V phase is equal to VL by root 3, then I'll get the same relation that I obtained in delta connection. Similarly, reactive power in terms of phase values is nothing but 3 into V phase I phase sin phi in both star as well as delta. In terms of line values, it is root 3 VL IL sin phi, both in star as well as delta connections. Similarly, in apparent power, in terms of phase values, it is 3 into V phase I phase, and in terms of line values, it is root 3 VL IL in both star connection as well as delta connection. So we have two types of three-phase balance system. One is three-phase three-wire system and another one is three-phase four-wire system. Three-phase three-wire system is possible both in delta as well as star, whereas three-phase four-wire system is only possible in case of star because it utilizes the neutral point. In three-phase balance system, the phasor sum of IR, IY, IB is equal to 0 and the neutral current is also 0. So if I have a star connection and if I have a delta connection, in balanced system, we know that the magnitude of impedances in each phase are equal, both in star as well as delta. So when I want to convert either star to delta or delta to star, so the formula is nothing but Z delta will be nothing but 3 times the impedance in star connection, and vice versa. If I want to convert, impedance in star connection is nothing but 1 by 3 times the impedance of delta connection. So this is how I can convert either star to delta or delta to star in balanced three-phase system. So this is regarding the introduction of balanced three-phase system. So now we shall solve some of the tutorials on three-phase balance system. So the first sum is given that each phase of a balanced three-phase system delta connection load has 0.5 Henry inductor in series with a parallel combination of 7 microfarad capacitor and 50 ohm resistor. If the line voltage is 230 at a frequency of 400 radians per second, it has asked us to find line currents, phase currents and power consumption. So the impedance value is indirectly given. So first, always, since the frequency omega 400 radians per second is given, try to convert the inductor and capacitor values in JXL and JXC forms. Okay. So we know that inductor is nothing but J omega L, and capacitor is represented as minus J omega minus J by omega C. So on substitution all the values, I'll get the value of inductance as well as capacitance. So here he has given that each phase is containing a 0.5 Henry inductor in series with a parallel combination of capacitor as well as resistor. So this is how he has given. So we have to find the Z equivalent of this circuit. So these two are in parallel. So on simplification, I'll get the value of impedance to be 49 plus J 193.1 ohms. I convert it into polar form, which will give me 199.2 at an angle 75.76 ohms. So I obtain the value of phase impedance. Next, since this is a delta connection system, line voltage is already given as 230 volts, and in delta connection we know that the magnitude of line voltage is equal to the magnitude of phase voltage, assuming that it is RYB phase sequence. So it is a must that we should specify what sequence you are following. So since it is RYB phase sequence, since both line voltages as well as phase voltages are equal, VRY is nothing but 230 at an angle 0, VYB is 230 at an angle minus 120 degrees, and VBR is 230 at an angle minus 240 degrees. Since this is a balanced system, we know from the analysis that every line voltage as well as phase voltage will be displaced by 120 degrees apart from each other. That is why here, since this is taken as a reference 0, I have got minus 120 degrees for YB and minus 240 degrees for BR. So line currents and phase currents. So phase currents I is equal to V by Z. So IRY is nothing but VRY by Z phase. We know the values for VRY as well as Z phase. Just substituting in the formula, we will get the values for IRY, similarly for IYB as well as for IBR. So these are the values for phase currents. Since this is delta connection, you know that line current is nothing but the magnitude is root 3 times the magnitude of phase current, and every line current will lag the respective phase current by 30 degrees. That is why in every line current I have indicated by minus 30 degrees, since it is lagging the respective phase currents by 30 degrees. So substituting all the values in the formula, I'll get the values for line currents IR, IY and IB. So power consumed is nothing but the formula is 3 into V phase I phase cos phi, or root 3 into VL IL cos phi. So you can consider any of the formula. On substituting the values in either of the formula will give me the total power consumed, which is 195.86 watts. The second sum, the three phase voltages of a balanced system is given as VRY 100 at an angle 0, VYB is 100 at an angle minus 120, and VBR is nothing but 100 at an angle minus 240. The load is given as delta connected load, and impedance is given as 10 at an angle 30 degrees. Asks us to find the values for line currents as well as phase currents. So assuming that it is RYB phase sequence, so since both supply as well as the load is connected in star, this is how we can represent the given sum pictorially. So since in delta connection the magnitude of line voltage is equal to the phase voltage, the given line voltage will be nothing but the phase voltages. Okay. So the phase currents is nothing but I is equal to V by Z. Just substituting all the values that we already know will give me the values for phase currents. So RY, VRY, which is nothing but 100 at an angle 0. Z phase is given as 10 at an angle 30. So substituting all the three values will give me the values for phase currents for the given delta connected load. And in a delta connection, the magnitude of line currents is root 3 times the magnitude of phase currents, and every line current lags the respective phase current by 30 degrees. On substituting all the values in the formula will give me the values for line currents in delta connected load. The third sum. So it is given that it is a star connected load. The line voltage is given as 400. The current in each phase is given as 30 amps, and it lags the respective phase voltage by 30 degrees. Asks us to calculate line voltage, phase voltage and total power. So given that the sequence that we should follow is RYB phase sequence. Since the line voltage is given as 400 volts, and since we are following RYB phase sequence, VRY is 400 at an angle 0, VYB is 400 at an angle minus 120, and VBR is 400 at an angle minus 240. So phase voltages. So in star connection, phase voltage is nothing but the magnitude of phase voltage is 1 by root 3 times the magnitude of line voltage, and every phase voltage will lag the respective line voltage by 30 degrees. So on substituting the values, we will get the respective phase voltage for this sum. Since this is a star connection, we will get VRN, VYN and VBN. So after obtaining line voltages and phase voltages, so the third one he has asked us to calculate total power. total power is 3 V phase I phase cos phi or root 3 VLIL cos phi. So in either of the formula, if you substitute, you will get the same expression. That is, in this case I have got power consumed to be 18 kilowatts. The fourth sum, he has given a load impedance of 4 plus j3 ohms, has given the line voltage of 415 volts, has asked us to find line current, power factor, power consumed, active power, reactive power and apparent power. So Z phase he has given as 4 plus j3 ohms. I have converted that into polar form, which will give me 5 at an angle 36.86 ohms. The magnitude of line current is nothing but voltage by Z phase. Magnitude of voltage VL is given 415 and Z phase magnitude is 5. On just substitution, I'll get the magnitude of line current to be 83 amps. So cos phi, the phi indicates the angle between voltage and current, which is given by the angle of impedance Z phase. So is cosine of this angle, that is 36.86, will give me the power factor, which is 0.8. Power consumed is nothing but active power, reactive power, apparent power. So the respective formula is either you can use the line values or you can use the phase values also. Okay. So I'm just substituting all the formulas. I'll get the values for active power, reactive power as well as the apparent power. So the power consumed is same as the active power. Next, fifth sum, the three resistances of 25 ohms is given to be connected in delta across a 500 volts AC supply. Asked us to calculate line currents, phase voltages and power consumed. So assuming that it is RYB phase sequence, Z phase is given to be 25 ohms. Since this is a delta connection, line voltage is equal to phase voltage. So VRY is 500 at an angle 0, VYB will be 500 at an angle minus 120 and VBR will be 500 at an angle minus 240. Phase currents I is equal to V by Z. So you know the values of respective line voltages as well as phase impedances. Just substituting the values in the formula will give me the values for phase currents for this delta connected load. Since this is the delta connection system, line current magnitude is nothing but root 3 times the magnitude of phase current, and every line current will lag the respective phase current by 30 degrees. So on substituting the values in the formula will give me the expression for line currents. Power consumed formula, as you already know. So in either of the formula, if I substitute, it will give me 30 kilowatts. So the sixth sum, line voltage is given as 400 volts. Star connected load is given as 50 plus J40 ohms. It asks us to calculate line currents, phase currents and power consumed. The line voltages, since it is RYB phase sequence, if I assume VRY is 400 at an angle 0, VYB will be 400 at an angle minus 120 degrees and VBR will be 400 at an angle minus 240 degrees. Z phase is given as 50 plus J40 ohms and I convert it into polar form will give me 64 at an angle 38.66 ohms. So in star connection, phase voltages is nothing but 1 by root 3 times the magnitude of line voltages, and every phase voltage will lag the respective line voltage by 30 degrees. So using that formula, you substitute all the values that are required and will give me the values of phase voltages VRN, VYN and VBN. Phase currents I is equal to V by Z. So we know the phase voltages as well as phase impedances. So substituting the formulas, we will get all the three phase currents for the star connected load. Since this is a star connected load, line current is equal to phase currents. So whatever values I have got for phase currents, the same values are for line currents. Power consumed formula, if I substitute in either of the formula, I'll get 1.94 kilowatts. The seventh sum, each phase of a balanced three-phase delta connected load has an impedance of 4 minus j3 ohms. Line voltage is given as 220. Has asked us to find line phase currents and power delivered to the load. Assuming that it is RYB phase sequence, Z phase, I'll convert it into a polar form, will give me 5 at an angle minus 36.86 ohms. Since this is delta connection, the magnitude of line voltage is equal to phase voltage, which is nothing but VRY 220 at an angle 0, VYB 220 at an angle minus 120, and VBR is 220 at an angle minus 240 volts. The phase currents I is equal to V by Z. So the respective phase current values, phase voltages I know, the respective phase impedances, since balanced all the phases will have same impedances. Substituting in the formula, I'll get the phase currents in all the three phases, that is IRY, IYB and IBR for delta connection load. The power delivered or line currents, the magnitude of line currents is root 3 times the magnitude of phase currents, and every line current will lag the respective phase currents by 30 degrees. So on substituting the formulas, I'll get the three line currents for the given delta connected load. The power delivered formula, if I substitute in either of the formula, will give me 23.23 kilowatts. So this brings the end of my today's lecture on three-phase balanced circuits. In next lecture, we'll see the analysis as well as tutorials on three-phase unbalanced circuits. Thank you.